I'm retired. My wife and I are both retired, and we're just looking for an avenue to just pump up our savings.
Okay, so John, good to meet you again. We've spoken quite a few times. So I just wanted to introduce yourself to the audience so that everyone knows who you are, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Jay Sefcovic, and I joined Vector a couple months ago, and really, for all intent and purposes, started the first of the year. Kind of waited till after the holidays, and yeah, so I'm doing the futures algorithm, and Gareth has been just steadfast in his support and helping me, who's a very much a novice at investing this way, and he's been a wealth of information and kind of keeping me, he kind of giving me guardrails, if you will, kind of keep me going, and but yeah, I'm retired, and my wife and I are both retired, and we're just looking for an avenue to just pump up our savings, and looked at Vector, and it seems like a good program, and so far so good.
Yeah. Thanks for introducing yourself. So, I've got a few questions for you, obviously, just for the audience, whoever is watching this. I wanted to introduce you from my side. I know that when you joined Vector quite recently, initially we were quite skeptical because this was pretty new to you. Let's say over the past 2 months or so, it's been about 2 months, right? If I'm not mistaken. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but definitely you've been here for a short period of time. I just want you to basically walk through people what your experience has been right from the beginning up until where you currently are at now. If you can share some insight on that, that would be great.
Yeah. So from the beginning, it seemed like it was a lot to get the account going for me, but I think it was more on my end because I was trying to move funds from an existing IRA into another platform, and then that platform allowed me to get into NinjaTrader. So it just took a period of time. It was frustrating a little bit in the beginning, and again, it was probably more me than anything in the system of getting lined up where I could actually invest. But once I got the funds there, the people moving my money and getting permissions from my existing to this other platform, and then moving that money into Ninja. But once that happened, it's pretty straightforward after that.
Yeah. Would you say
Now,
that it is fairly simple once you've set up and it's just a matter of like literally turning it on and off? How have you found that process? Because I know, as you say, it's pretty niche. A lot of people are quite new to algo trading. So if you compare just general investing compared to this, what would you say the returns have been so far? I know that you've had your account was actually, if I could be transparent, I think it's always good to be transparent. You were in an initial drawdown, and I remember we spoke at some point and you were wondering if it was going to go into profit. If you don't mind sharing that as of now, what current profit you are in such a short time. Sorry for stumbling my words. What is
sure, yeah, I was almost going to quit, to be honest with you. It's kind of looked at in the back of my mind that's an investment part of it too, but that's upfront cost. So I didn't really feel, that real positive or wouldn't feel real positive until I got not only to a break even with what I'm actually investing, but to recoup my initial investment. And that's right where I'm sitting now. If I take that initial amount that it costs to join out of the equation, I'm sitting around, I think right around 9% for the month of January. And that's quite frankly where you kind of took the wheel and said, look, Jay, just sign in every day, and this will take care of itself. It'll write itself. And I said, I'm going to trust you. And there's something that I felt, and my wife did, trusting of you, Gareth. You'd reach out in all hours of the day. That spoke volumes to me. You heard my voice and my concerns. You never said, look, pal, just quit. You always kind of coached me up, and I appreciate you.
I
And
appreciate
sure
that.
enough, we're talking 4 weeks ago, that was the scenario, right? And now here we are, the middle of February, and we're about in the position you said we would be then. And I've just really established a lot of confidence in you and the platform. And it is really, I had to get out of my own way. I had to kind of just say, sign in like he tells you to sign in every day. Let it do its thing. Sign in. And once I got that and I bought into that process, things have smoothed out.
Yeah,
So I'm pretty happy right now. Who knows what tomorrow brings, but I have faith it's going the right direction now, Gareth.
definitely.
And I appreciate you.
Great. Yeah, I appreciate the kind words. Definitely. I think it's quite interesting because having faith in an algorithm is quite tricky sometimes. A lot of clients that are new to this find that it's difficult to actually trust the system without the certainty of it working out. You know, they haven't seen the process through enough times. From your side, having seen a little glimpse into Vector, what do you imagine this to be in the next 5 years? Do you look at this as like a short term, long term investment? You know, what are your plans with Vector, the way you see it?
Yeah, I'm hoping this is just a lifestyle change for how I invest this portion of my portfolio. I've still got a traditional IRA, and it's going to be managed by another person for us. But the amount I've set aside to be in Vector is in Ninja Trader is for me to stay in this thing long term. I'm hoping to see these dollars continue to fund our future. To be honest.
Well, amazing.
I'm excited about that. I really am. And Jenna's excited about it. And that's important to take care of my wife through this process. So I'm putting a lot of trust in Vector, to be honest with you. But so far, you guys have been wonderful from the service side, from the communication side, and also now with the numbers. The numbers are going the right direction, and it lets me sleep at night, to be quite frankly.
That's the most important. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that there's a lot of difficulty in the startup just trying to figure out exactly what's going to perform. There's a lot of algo companies out there, but
Yeah.
we are quite happy that you decided to stick with Vector, definitely. And you know, having been through this process, I can always say it's important just to trust the algorithm. If there was someone who was new to Vector, brand new, who was sort of in your position, starting off, wanted to build a future with Vector, but was uncertain. Is there something that you could say to them that, you know, give them a piece of advice from where you're currently at? What would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them don't do what I did and don't overthink it. Just trust the system and give it time before you panic or pull the trigger or call Vector 24/7 like I did. They're going to answer. They're going to get back to you, but there's really no need if you just give it some time. That's what I would recommend somebody new is just give it a month, give it 2 months to see the trend. You know, I joined at a time where it was the holidays coming into play, and you know, it was a really just in my mind a tough time to join. Um, Hindsight, I wish I would have got in a month earlier and then kind of known what to expect. But I would encourage somebody just to let it ride, get in, especially if you're inexperienced at this. Get in. You know, we got into the futures one. I felt that was the most appropriate one for us. You know, everything has risk to it, but that was the one of the less risky ones to get into. And again, just make sure you're signed on every day. Make sure it's running. Don't get caught up in a lot of the noise. Sometimes you read the chats in the morning and you see, well, should we sign off today? Should we not get in today? You know, last year at this time it did this. I'm going to stay out. I just say, like Gareth told me, stay in it. And over time, it's going to take care of itself. So that's what I recommend a newbie is just to trust it. And then at the same thing, what I'm doing now is trying to educate myself a little bit on the logic of futures trading in different platforms, whether I manually do it at some point or not. I just want to understand the lingo in the morning meetings. You know, what's a candle? What's a wick? You know, what's this drag? What's this? All the terminology that comes along with it because I'm trying to follow the chart and they're talking lingo I don't understand. So I would encourage somebody to get some of the terms in their vocabulary and understand. So when those meetings happening every morning or every morning rather, that you understand what they're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think it's quite interesting because I just want to find out just for everyone so they can have a little bit of an understanding where exactly you came from, like the background. How did you, you know, what got you interested in Vector? Where did you, what is your background initially and why did you decide to sort of join Vector? Like where did that come from? You know, if you don't mind sharing some
Well,
of that.
yeah, no problem. I didn't feel personally that where I'm at in my life that I'd saved enough. And it was just through some tough times, right? I mean, you go through life. I mean, you go through 2008 crash, and I always had my money in stocks, and it was always managed by somebody else. So I didn't have a lot of control of it. More mutual fund and stuff, and more IRAs with excuse me 401ks with companies. And you had a few selections, but not a lot. So there wasn't a whole lot of control over it. And there were some good years, but there were some down years and it wasn't very responsive. If I knew the market was going down, it just seemed like the reaction time to move those funds to get down before there was a loss was tough. It wasn't very quick. And so it was a lot of nervousness about being in the stock market. 100%, and not having a whole lot of control in the wheel. And again, personally for me, being at my age in retirement, and my wife's retired now, not feeling collectively we had enough. So I wanted part of my portfolio to grow more. And I was looking for a vehicle to do that. And I researched online several algorithmic companies that have this platform. Vector just seemed to be one that seemed solid. Their advertisement was pretty clear. And then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to make a phone call. And I got a hold of Cheyenne, I believe. Cheyenne, I think I'm saying that right. Hopefully
Yeah.
he doesn't kill me. But
But
yeah, and he kind of walked me through just the ABCs of how it works and what it does. And like he said, the numbers don't lie. Here's what we've been able to achieve. That doesn't mean there's a guarantee for it. But gosh, some of the returns were more than I had made in 2 or 3 years in my current platform. So I was looking for a way to jumpstart and increase that nest egg I have. And Vector was appealing to me. And, then I Googled, reviewed you guys, and I went on Chat, GPT, and really everything was pretty favorable. Trustpilot, there was a few people, but out of 100 people, I think 88% gave it, a 5, and you don't see that too often. So I felt like somebody else already did the groundwork for me in terms of being a solid place to go, and I jumped on board. I'm glad I did, and it's going well.
that's good to hear. It's good to hear. I really appreciate that. Definitely sounds like things are going well. You know, what I can imagine is the future can only get better and brighter as we improve things. Definitely, Vector likes to operate with integrity. So, from my side, I always try to keep it as genuine and as honest as I can. I know that we're dealing with capital, dealing with an automated system, but it is a new world, which is good to see that things are working out for someone like yourself and your wife. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you guys on board. And I'm really looking forward to more of this. I'm just thinking at some point we'll probably jump on another call. We'll probably have another testimonial down the line. Right now, do you think Vector's living up to what you expected it to be? Do you have any concerns for the future, or are you quite excited for things to come?
No, I'm excited, and Jennifer and I talk about this every single morning. Sometimes you'll look at things too much, and the only reason I really get pulled into looking at it is when I make sure that my system's on, and then I find myself grabbing my coffee and coming back to it every couple hours to check what's going on. And it's probably not the best thing for me to do, but no, I'm very happy with it. I'm looking forward to what comes the next year, and I'm hoping this is something that I'm here with, for the next 5, 10, 10 plus years. 10 plus years. I don't know. As long as it's doing what it's doing, I'm excited.
That's amazing to hear.
Hopefully I learn a little bit more about how to use the system more, and maybe some other platforms that you have that I've just got to educate myself on. But for right now, I think you guys steered me to the right place, and it's doing well. I'm happy.
Yeah, it really looks like it's sort of sparked your interest in futures as well, especially from the beginning.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
sound like you're really wanting to get involved in some sense and really like take over and have some additional control of things, which is great. And that's the benefit of Vect at the end of the day. It always offers this growing grounds for an individual. When you start to see things work, you end up feeling like you want to become more part of the community, and we can only just solidify the trust that we already have. So yeah, from my side, I think that's a great share for everyone. I think that everyone can hear that things are going well for you, which is great. And you're still very new to Vector. So it's been a short period of time, having 9% return already on your account size. I'm not too sure if you're willing to share the account size. That's completely up to you with everyone, or if you want to keep that to yourself. But that is a great return, definitely in terms of dollar amounts. I think you've done very well so far, and we're only just beginning. So I do really
Yeah.
appreciate the time.
Yeah. And I'm okay, Sharon. I came into this, and it wasn't a need to. You guys didn't ask me to, but I was comfortable bringing over 100,000 to start with Vector. You guys have these guardrails on it that you really can't. There's a lot of safety nets, right, that you guys put in place for stop losses, and yeah, sometimes the market does better, and we don't take all the gains all the time. But you stopped me from losing money, and again, I think that whole adage of we win, more than we lose in terms of the numbers. I'm hoping to grow this 100 to who knows? Who knows? Sky's the limit. It could be 200,000 a year from now when we're talking. I
Yeah.
don't know. It should only happen.
Yeah,
And I'm
definitely.
going to continue to just reinvest in it. Whatever I win, I want to keep in and play and keep moving forward.
That sounds great. Sounds great. Definitely appreciate it. And we're glad to have you on board here. Definitely, I think we've already built a good foundation together, like a nice trusting relationship within each other. I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to
I
it to
do.
continue. And I think things can only get better. For the most part, the team appreciates you. So we really appreciate you jumping on this call and sharing your story with us. I'm not sure if you do have any other things you would like to share about Vector just for other people, or if you're happy with that.
Yeah, I think I pretty much said everything, Gareth. That they're great people. I've had nobody that I've had. There's just no sunlight, no daylight between us. I feel like everything's solid, everything's truthful. They don't sugarcoat anything. They're going to tell you you're going to have a bad day, you're going to have good days, and probably more good days than not. I just think you have to. Don't be a nervous nanny like me, and again, just trust the system. And I'm learning every single day, every single week as a month goes by to really just hear the echo of Gareth, of yourself, of saying, just stick with it over time. And I think that's what you have to do. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's really the algos are incredible. I mean, it's impressive. It's impressive what you guys do, and I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate the service side as well as the result side. Again, I'm hoping in a month from now we're reaching out again and we're saying it's went up another 10%, 15%, whatever. I'm excited.